Hey, this is Sean here. I'm the artist behind SeanSean.co, as well as I do eBay specials. Today I'm going to do the review of Peppermint. So as you don't know, this is kind of a vigilante film similar to Taken. It has a little better plot in the sense that it's a mother and she's going from, a complete innocent mother, family and child. Her husband gets involved with some, bad gang members. He decides to call it off, but then they go out and to set an example of these guys. So he actually has this family killed except for her. So she's kind of the remaining solo member to set an example, right? Of course, she doesn't really take this very well. She goes to court. She's going to identify them. They try to pay her off. They didn't want to be paid off. But then they pay off the judge. So the court case is dismissed, right? So she disappears 5 years and then comes up 5 years later to start, taking these guys out one by one. So it's a really good plot and storyline, very good motivation as far as why you would go seek out and kill Mexican gang members who are really ruthless, right? We've all seen these pictures of in Mexico where they decapitate the heads and they really go crazy. So they're pretty ruthless. So in that aspect, it has a really good build for storyline. It's almost better than Taken in the sense Taken is just like the guy, you assume the guy is just ruthless right off the bat. You don't really know, but then you find out slowly that he's this ruthless guy. They kind of do the same with her. I think they do kind of have this a little bit of a transition from mother to vigilante, but I think they just made it too short. I would have added maybe 10-15 more minutes and cut back on some of the hunt scenes, and I would have added in like her training. She robs the bank where she works. They totally just cut that. It's like that's a crucial character changing scene, and why would you take that out? It's like, so from the director's standpoint, I think they really kind of messed up the story in a sense. They had some really cool photography. The mafia scene was really well built up. There wasn't that much character evolution in those guys, but they are who they are. They're they're Mexican mafia members, right? They're totally ruthless. So that's pretty consistent. They could have had some evolution there where he feels a little bit of scare at the end, but he's totally like hardcore driven type, so he's really not scared. But they probably could have softened that character in a little bit in the sense that, especially when the cartel threatens him, they could have had that build a little bit more. I think that would have been more interesting to see his character kind of come from the really, he's got everything under control and his empire slowly getting taken out one by one, and that should have, it did upset him, but he remained fairly cool, which I don't know if you'd stay that cool if everything was going to, hell in a handbasket, so to say. So they had pretty good photography, good plot. Yeah, they just kind of skimmed on this training part. Another issue I have with the main character is, they cover the mother, she established that it's well done. And through the whole film, they kind of revert back to her grieving and then going back to being vigilante, grieving and vigilante. And it doesn't read right. I think the way they should have shot it is probably more like Zero Dark 30, in the sense like she's just hardcore, 9/11 hit her, and she's just completely driven, and then when they get Osama bin Laden, then she breaks down completely. And I think that would have worked better for the mother figure, that she just completely, like, everything's, otherwise what's the drive of going to kill multiple people? I mean, if you're constantly grieving and then you're killing people and then grieving, it doesn't kind of make sense in a way. It makes sense a little bit, but you obviously feel that, but if you're grieving in that kind of broken sense, you wouldn't be a killer. So she really has to have that character evolution to be the really hardcore killer. They also don't show the training. She looks kind of fit, but not exactly fit. A scene where they did this much better was in Aliens. They had this Private Vasquez, and she's like a Marine. She's actually doing pull-ups, and you really believe her as like one of the first female Marines, right? And she's totally hardcore. Another good example is that transition from Terminator 1 to Terminator 2. Sarah Connor, she's kind of like this character being hunted down by this robot, and then that's scene 2, she's been in the psych ward for 5 years. She's totally hard about it. She breaks out on her own, even though the Terminator's coming after her, and she's just, completely ruthless and driven. And you can really see that in a character, and they really show that character evolution from 1 to 2. So that's a little bit missing here as far as like she's 5 years older, and she's become this vigilante, but you still feel like she's this grieving mother, and they could have saved that to the end, and that would have been great, and had the tension build up, and then she's boom, releases, right? But they don't. So I just think the director should have chosen different ways to evolve the character. I don't think it's necessarily bad actor, because it's really, the director tells you how you want it to be acted, right? But I think she did an okay job. She could have been more trained though. you know, show the training and actually be physically fit. I just didn't always, I mean, she seemed pretty fit, like maybe swimmer fit, but she didn't seem like you're gonna kick some ass, and she was karate fit. She knew how to shoot guns, and you didn't have that confidence going in. Another good example of, you know, showing the transition towards, like, say, training would be Red Dawn, one of my other favorite movies from the 80s. And you show these kids, and they slowly go from shooting deer, and they learn how to hunt on their own, and then they go and they accidentally kill someone because they're about to be caught, and then they go into like full-fledged like go back, and then they get really hit back, and they become harder and harder core each time until they completely break themselves psychologically. So in that film they really grasp the essence of character evolution, of going from soft normal person to a really hardcore killer. Anyway, I hope you guys like my review. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you want, subscribe below, and hope to see you in the next review. Thanks for watching, guys.